Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to a kind of different video today. Today I'm going to be talking to someone who currently has the number 6th ranked backpack in the world, but we're not going to be speaking about that today. Today I'm joined by Jewlander. Say what's up, dude.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So Jewlander, I mean it's fairly common knowledge that you have quite possibly one of the nicest and most unique, unusual collections in Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's taken a while, I think, to get to the point of getting it together.
So the first thing I've always been thinking whenever I've seen it is, what was it that actually made you want to collect the Noh Mercy? Because it must have been something to make you want to invest so much money, etc., into the Noh Mercy.
Yeah, so I've been asked this question quite a few times, and it's funnily enough not something super specific, which I think people would probably imagine it would be, like some obsession with like demon masks or blah 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 blah, something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's really quite simple. I just play the spy a lot. I really like the spy in TF2. It's my main,
Okay.
and I used to collect Cloudy Moons. Actually, that was my first collection. Was the Cloudy Moon collection, and along the way, I picked up the Burning Noh Mercy, the Beams Noh Mercy, the Scorching Noh Mercy, and I think the Planets Noh Mercy.
And how much were they when you first bought them? Has the price changed, or?
Oh yeah, that definitely has gone up and down for a few of them. If I can remember correctly, the Burning was, I think, like 98 buds at the time. And I don't know if I remember how much buds were. I think they were 30 or something.
Yeah, I
maybe
remember
20 to 30.
Being around that sort of margin.
Yeah, that would make sense. So that one was probably the most expensive one to get. But the other two, Beams and Scorching, were not too bad. I think I got Beams before the price rise. I think it was like 20 to 28 buds or something like that. And then the Scorching I actually got in like a quick sell way back in the day with a clean secret TC, Secret Moon TC.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Damn,
that was an interesting hat.
Yeah, I can imagine. So is that like, this sort of leads me on to my next question.
Sure.
What was the first Noh Mercy you bought? Because you went through like the first 4. What was the very first one that you picked up?
I actually don't know if I can remember correctly which one was the first. I have to say I think it was Beams or Planets.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was either Beams or Planets. And then I think it went Scorching, and then the very last one was Burning, because that was when I kind of resolved myself to like, okay, I really want to get the Burning one at this point. Like, I'm already like getting the God tiers. Like, why not finish it off?
Yeah, you may as well just go all out. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, in your Noh Mercy collection, what is the most expensive and the cheapest that you've bought? Maybe not on backpack.tf, but for the price you paid.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I guess for me, the most expensive was probably either the GE, the Green Energy one, or I would say one of one second gen effect Noh Mercy. So that would be the Bubbling, the Blizzardy. I think it's just those two are the one of one ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because those two specifically I got from a really big trade with Shadows, who was a TF2 mod on Outpost.
Yeah.
If you know who he is, and he had those Noh Mercys and like I think 2 others or something, and we did like this really big trade with a bunch of my moon hats that I had at the time, because I still had the moon collection.
Oh yeah.
And this was kind of like, the turning point when I decided I'm not going to collect moons anymore. I want to collect Noh Mercys. So I had to get the one of one like Noh Mercys, obviously, or else you can't, like, that's not a full collection, right?
Yeah, of course. So, you know.
Yeah. that was just really hard to come up with the price for those, because no one had really bought them before, like besides him. I think after they had gone up in price and people realized they weren't being unboxable anymore. So those, we had to like agree on a value. We went really high up. I think we both agreed on like 1,100 for each. Wow. Which was a lot.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because I was like, man, I'm like spending all of my unusuals I've collected on all of these Noh Mercys, and it's only like 5 of them. So that was a really big turning point too. So I think those like personally had a pretty big expense for me as well.
Did you ever like regret a purchase? Like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have paid so much on that Noh Mercy or something like that?
Yeah, a few of them. Especially nowadays. I actually, funnily enough, just went through. I have like a spreadsheet with all of my Noh Mercys that I've like what price I bought them at.
Okay.
And what I like currently value them at, in case, whenever I sell the collection, I have a good idea.
Yeah.
And I was going through and updating values, and a few of them went up, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. A lot of the lower tier ones went down, which made me a little bit sad. So I think what I paid for maybe some of those was a bit much. I also kind of got screwed out of the purple confetti Noh Mercy that I own. If you've ever looked, you might notice I have 2 of them.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, it seems like you have 2 of them.
They are dupes. They are dupes of each other. So I own both of the dupes. That is not what I originally planned.
Oh, really?
No, I bought one of them, and the guy who sold it to me was claiming it was clean. And it was, technically speaking, clean at the time. There was no other one in its history. About a year later, the other one showed up. I have no idea how or why or when it got duped. But I guess it'd been hiding in a private backpack or a scammer's backpack or whatever. But it resurfaced. And so then I basically was like, oh, that's the dupe of the one I own. That's great. I have a duped one. I didn't know that. Because like 3 people came to me and were like, hey, by the way, there's another purple confetti. You should go look at it because I think it's the same one as yours. I'm like, no, that's not right. So that was interesting.
Wow,
I ended up buying it from him for a pretty, not like a discounted price, I guess, but like definitely not full price. The guy kind of pitied me a little bit, which was nice.
I mean, if those,
yeah, that was not a plan.
If those are like the only 2 in existence, then at least you don't have to worry about another one popping up.
Funnily enough, there actually was another clean one that popped up like 2 months ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, the guy tried to sell it to me too, and I basically was like, I don't really need to buy another one, so I'll try and sell the dupes, and maybe I'll buy your clean one.
Yeah.
But they didn't really sell fast enough for his sense of time, so that's all good.
Okay.
Got the dupes around it.
So, out of your entire collection, what's your favorite piece? Like the one that has the most sentimental value, or the one you like the look of the most?
Out of the Noh Mercys in general?
Yeah, just the Noh Mercys.
Okay. Yeah, I think that my favorite still to this day would probably be Orbiting Planets, actually, out of all of them.
Oh, really?
Which is maybe a bit of a surprise to people.
Yeah, that's like the cheapest one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the cheapest in there. I have a really soft spot for that effect, a really big soft spot for those, because my first spy set I ever had was, and I still have the hat from it, was my Cloudy Moon Beret.
Okay.
A Beams Leparty Phantom and a Planets Leparty Phantom, back when you could clip them together.
Yeah.
So it was like a little kind of like solar system or lunar system, whatever I called it, back when I was like 16 years old. But I really liked that set a lot. And the Planets was like one of the second or the third one I ever got. And I was just really happy about that. So it's definitely up there still.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of sort of sentimental value around it. So it's like it's always going to have a soft spot.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay. So one thing that I'm sure a lot of people are interested in is, do you ever intend on selling the collection? And if so, do you think you'd make profit from it or take an L on the price?
So yeah, I feel like a lot of people have asked me that over time. I mean, you probably know I have a trade up on Outposts. It's been there for years now.
I always thought that was just to buy more Noh Mercys.
It was originally, yeah. And then once I finished collecting all of the ones, like one of each effect, I kind of converted it. So if you've like looked at it after that, it basically says like, hey, I'm not selling any of them individually. I'm only taking offers on the whole collection, which, as we all know, is really unlikely. Anyone's gonna buy the whole thing at once.
They've got to be very committed to
yeah, so I kind of know that. Like, I'm not really like expecting anyone to buy the whole thing. It's mostly just up there so that when I do decide to sell them separately, I can say that, and then everyone will know where to go. And hey, you can buy specific ones. So in terms of like making a profit or not, I definitely think that I'm gonna sell them eventually. It's not like I'm gonna hold on to them forever. I do think that I will overall make money if I'm remembering my calculations correctly, because I've tried to be responsible about this. I know it's like kind of goofy because it's like a ton of money in virtual hats in a game that may not last forever. But yeah, I've tried to be responsible about keeping tabs on the value. So
I mean,
waste like $1,000.
You could always sell them individually. Like if you ever did want to get rid of them, I'm sure you'd still make quite a bit off them if you sold them individually.
Probably. The thing I was most worried about when I do get to sell them is just some of the lower tiers being harder to sell.
Yeah.
So
like
there's always the chance of maybe trying to sell them in bundles, maybe, so I can kind of force people to buy like, hey, this one, you don't want to buy these like nicer ones, you got to buy these crappier ones.
Yeah, if you want the burning, you've got to take the bubbling as well.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly good marketing strategy. So do you like, is there a Noh Mercy that you don't have yet that you intend on looking for? So maybe like a few low crafts or an unusual that you haven't quite got yet. Like, is there anything like that?
No. So since I have one of every effect possible on it, I'm pretty good on that front. But there was for a long time a desire to get the collector's No Mercy, which I do have now.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of a long story in and of itself. But essentially what happened was the original guy who had the kit for it found a friend of mine on Steam. And this friend and I were literally just like talking about that like really recently before he found him, which is kind of hilarious. And so this guy was like, hey, I found the guy with the kit for the collector's No Mercy. Do you want me to forward him your way? Unfortunately, at the time, I was without a computer. I was at a job in the summer and I had my phone, and that was it.
Okay.
So I couldn't trade with a guy at the time. I don't think there was an ability to do that then on the phone. So I basically told my friend to buy it from the guy and then trade it to me later, and he agreed to. Long story short, he didn't trade it to me. He kept it. We're not friends anymore. We weren't really good friends before. We just had done some trading. So we're more like acquaintances. But anyway, so he kept it for himself and he crafted it on his own, which kind of made me sad because I really wanted to craft it. And I think that would have been appropriate. But yeah, so then he sold it. It got traded around a few times. And then a close friend of mine bought it without me knowing and then gave it to me for my birthday, which was like, wow, that's really nice. You didn't have to do that. Holy cow. Yeah, so it ends in a nice note, I guess, for that kind of a story.
Yeah.
But
That's
I think other than that, I don't really have any other No Mercies I've wanted since they don't have low crafts, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Wait. What are they not craftable? The No Mercy?
No, they just don't have craft numbers since some hats don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was initially a genuine, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a genuine. I do have a weird genuine. I think I have like a level 5 genuine or something.
Oh, like a glitch level type thing.
Yeah, but I think other than that, the only other weird No Mercy out there is the normal quality one, which is not tradable. So.
Ooh. So there's no chance of you getting that one.
No, it's stuck in the guy's account.
And the last question for this. Do you think you'll ever start a new collection for something else in the future? So maybe you'll get bored of the No Mercy, switch on to effects again, like you mentioned you had the Cloudy Moon one. Do you think that's ever likely to do something similar again?
I'm gonna be honest, probably not. I think this was kind of my end game for trading. So it's not like I've stopped trading since then, obviously, but it's really just like in terms of collectors' desires. No, I don't really have anything else at this point.
Oh wow!
After I got my my Cloudy Moon coffin kit back, that was pretty much the last thing I really wanted to get.
Oh wow, that is a god tier item right there, and of course you got the gold pan as well, so you're pretty set, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But like that's all the questions I got. Is there anything you sort of wanted to ask me or anything like that?
Yeah, let me think about it for a sec here. I know I've watched some of your videos and stuff. Is there anything that you've been really hankering after in terms of some maybe higher tier unusuals you're working towards?
Kind of actually. I kind of want to get my hands on a purple energy viewfinder. I've had like I had a Bonzo one for a while, which was really nice. It was like one of one. I flipped it and made I made like 200 keys off of that to a good friend of mine, and then yeah, he ended up selling it for a bad deal. But that's a whole separate story. I had a green black hole viewfinder as well. Like I really have a soft spot for viewfinders. So
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I may plan on picking up a purple energy one in the future. But yeah,
anyone has one of those watching this video, watch out.
Yeah, maybe I might come in with an offer at some point. But like honestly, thank you for coming and doing this interview with me. It's been really fun. Is there any like links or anything you'd like me to put down below?
Yeah, if you want to plug my Twitch, since that's the main thing I do, is stream TF2 and stuff, feel free. I can give that to you after this in the description here.
Okay, awesome. I have seen you stream quite frequently actually on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I always see it on Twitter, and I'm always intrigued to check it out. But
should stop by sometime, man.
yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to your backpack.tf as well, just in case they wanted to take a look at that and see the collection firsthand down below, along with your Twitch. So once again, Jewlander, thank you so much for joining me today. You've been a great sport.
Of course, man. Oh, thanks. It was a pleasure.
Alright guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, along with maybe any future videos like this where I maybe interview other collectors or maybe other YouTubers or something like that. I just think it would be quite a cool concept. So leave your opinions down below guys. Once again, check out Jewlander, and that's just about it. Peace. There we go. Oh